Hi, I'm Adam. I'm the manager of Edge and Wax. We're a ski shop just south of Horsham in West Sussex. We do servicing of skis and snowboards and sell a wide variety of tools. It's a really good idea to keep your snowboard in good condition, keep it edged and waxed. Edging, keeping nice sharp edges, allows you to hold an edge on ice. It's not going to skid out from under you. Waxing as well reduces the amount of friction your snowboard's going to get, so you're going to get a much smoother glide and hopefully get much better control of the snowboard. Depends on how often you're using the snowboard as to how often you should wax it, but it's a good idea to have a look at the base. It quite often dries out, especially along the edges. You'll see this white, it almost goes a bit furry. When you see that, it's definitely time for a new wax, but generally after a week skiing you'll need a new hot wax. Edges, again, it depends on how often you've been using the snowboard and also on the snow conditions, but if you run the back of your fingernail over your edge, if you're taking some of your fingernail off, then it should be okay, but generally again after a week's use it will need an edge. There's lots of different waxes you can use on your snowboard. It does depend on the conditions of the day and where you're looking to go. If you're off to somewhere cold, if it's out in Canada in January or off to Scandinavia and it's going to be really cold, then you want a much harder wax. The wax you're looking for wax that's roughly slightly harder than the snow conditions out there. So if you're out in Canada, obviously a harder wax. If you're going to Europe in spring conditions, you'll want a much softer wax. There are also different waxes. You can get fluoro waxes, you can get graphite waxes, all to do with different conditions. Most people generally just go for a standard universal wax and that's going to cover. So if you're just starting out in edging and waxing or in your basic servicing, I would stick to just a standard universal wax and that's going to cover all conditions for you. Good universal wax, most shops will stock them and they'll just be entitled to universal wax, but it's a wax that will cover your temperatures between -15 to -3. When people are talking about temperatures of waxes, make sure you realise it's the temperature of the snow and not the outside air temperature. So it might be -25 out there, but the snow will be a lot warmer, so there's no point in going for a much harder wax if it is very cold. Spray and rub-on waxes are a really good quick fix. They're nice to have in your pocket, but they're not going to last a long time, so it's almost worth giving your skis or your snowboard a hot wax first. Have a spray wax or a rub-on wax in your pocket towards the end of the week as the wax slowly dies out. You can almost keep your board topped up, but it is no replacement for a hot wax. Brand new snowboards have generally, when they come out of the factory, gone through a waxing wheel. This puts a layer of wax on the base but doesn't heat up the base to an extent that an iron will, so it's always a good idea to give it a hot wax, or a new snowboard to give it a hot wax before you hit the mountain.